Good afternoon and welcome to VA Memorial Stadium. I'm Shane Combs alongside Carson Francis. So glad you're with us here on SOSA. And as always, we appreciate the fine people at Ohio Health to make it all possible. Carson, as we come into this Division 5 semifinal, a couple names that were familiar on this district stage here at VA with Lynchburg-Clay and Portsmouth getting ready to do battle here shortly. And this is going to be the first of three for us. I know we had a lot of fun on Saturday, right back at it on what appears to be a pretty good forecast overall here on Tuesday. Should be an exciting day of baseball.
Yeah, Shane, glad to be here. No rain in the forecast. It's cloudy, but not supposed to see any rain, which is great news for us. We got three excellent games on tap today, including two district finals. Dewey's going to be joining us for the next game, Southeastern and Huntington in Division 6. Kenneth and I will have the Division 4 game to close us out, Logan Elm and Wheelersburg. But this game, to start us off, this is going to be a great one. It looks like Portsmouth, they're used to being here. Lynchburg-Clay is used to being here. These two teams met in the district stage last year, and Lynchburg-Clay won that battle. They went on to the Final Four in Division 5. This is going to be a great game between two programs that know what it takes to win at this stage of the tournament.
Two teams that's had an outstanding regular season, two teams at 20 wins coming in, two teams that are conference champions over in the Southern Hills Athletic Conference. Lynchburg-Clay with the perfect mark. Coach Flowers brings a group in, as you said, used to winning, and they've done plenty of it again this year in 2026. Over on the Portsmouth side, Coach Duncan, 12-2, shares the OVC with a really good Ironton team. Gallia Academy, a team that really had come on late in the year, just a game back at 11-3. So both conferences, maybe not quite the depth that we're used to seeing in those particular conferences, top to bottom, but certainly some really, really good teams, and obviously led by Lynchburg and Portsmouth. Still teams that have gone out in the non-league, tested themselves more than battle-tested for today's test.
Yeah, absolutely. And just even looking at their non-league schedule, these teams have played a lot of teams that have gotten them ready to get to this stage. We saw Lynchburg-Clay at the beginning of the season play an Eastern Megs team that's going to play for a district title tonight in Division 6. They played an Amanda Clear Creek team that won a tournament game in the Central District. So this team, this Lynchburg-Clay team, again, they were in the Final Four last year. They know what it takes to get here, but they've also played the schedule that has allowed them to kind of face a little bit of adversity, face a little bit of resistance here and there. And when they're matched up with a Portsmouth team that's had a very similar regular season, maybe you'd argue a little more competitive in the league schedule, but also just two very battle-tested teams that, it's going to be a clash when first pitch rolls around here in about 12 minutes or so.
Let's take a closer look at the personnel. I'm going to rattle down the starting lineups, and I'm going to give Carson a chance to highlight some players to watch. First, let's start on the visitor side. The Portsmouth Trojans, again, coming in at 20-7 overall under Coach Aaron Duncan. Leading off, the shortstop will be Jacob Roth. The second baseman, Landon Malone, will bat second. And the three-hole, Cameron Williams, the center fielder. Cleaning up for Portsmouth will be Trevin Brooks, the catcher. In the five-hole, Eli Roth, the first baseman. Playing right field and batting sixth will be Braxton Carr. The third baseman, Logan Atkins, is in the seven-hole. In the eight-hole is where you'll find the use of the designated hitter. Owen Wells will hit for the pitcher, Leland Skurlock, who we'll talk a little bit more about here in just a little bit. And then batting ninth, the left fielder, Kane Boggs. One more time for Coach Duncan. It goes Jacob Roth, Malone, and Williams, followed by Brooks, Eli Roth, and Carr, with the bottom third of Atkins, Wells, and Boggs. Carson, you look down through that lineup as I read that off. Obviously, a lot of athleticism, a team that likes to run, a team with some sneaky pop as well. Highlight some kids or maybe an overall view on that lineup. What jumps out at you?
Yeah, well, looking at Portsmouth's game that they wanted to get here, a 10-0 win over Alexander in 6 innings, the thing that got them out in front was they just jumped on Alexander early, and it started with the leadoff inside the park home run from Jacob Roth, who's going to lead the Trojans off today. So Lynchburg-Clay, they've got a tall task ahead of them from the jump. And also two other guys that I'd like to point out, and we talked about this a little bit off air, but I just felt like when I was reading Portsmouth's lineup, I feel like the 3 and 4 hitters, Cameron Williams and Trevin Brooks, they've been in a Portsmouth uniform for as long as I can remember. They've been staples in Coach Duncan's program, and, rightfully so. They can go out and play ball, get hits when you need them to. Just terrific athletes, terrific young men. And, I look for this top of the order with Roth, Malone, Williams, and Brooks to get Portsmouth off to a hot start like they did in their win over Alexander.
Moving over to the home side today, Lynchburg-Clay, they'll lead off with shortstop Harley Lewis. The catcher, Elam Faust, will bat second. Doing the pitching and batting third will be Quinn Wells. Trevor Niehaus is your center fielder. He'll clean it up. In the 5-hole, Christian Beachy, the third baseman. Tanner Roberts is the left fielder. He'll bat sixth. In the 7th hole, the use of the DH will be Caden Boone. He'll be hitting for right fielder Alex Van Vliet. In the 8th hole, Max Baker, he's the first baseman, and batting ninth and playing second is Eric Slack. One more time for Coach Flowers and the Mustangs. It'll be Lewis, Faust, Wells, Niehaus, Beachy, Roberts, and Boone, Baker, and Slack. And Carson, obviously, this is an extremely deep lineup. I almost laugh when I say Eric Slack batting ninth. He's a top 10 hitter in the Shack and just an outstanding player in his own right. But top to bottom, a lot of speed, a lot of pop, a lot of guys that have been on this stage and performed on this stage. Really complete lineup.
Yeah, absolutely. And when you've got guys like a Quinn Wells who can go out and hit 550, which sounds crazy. He's putting up video game numbers this season, 34 stolen bases on the base paths, and also a terrific pitcher who they're going to give the ball to start off today. Anytime you got a player like that who can go make something happen in any phase of the game, you're in a good spot when you've got him, along with, as you said, just a completely stacked Mustangs lineup top to bottom.
Let's take a closer look at that pitching matchup on the Portsmouth side. We mentioned Leland Skirlock. He's been someone who's taken the ball all year long for him. This is going to be the 14th game already this season that he appears in. ERA in the low 3, 7-3 overall. Pretty good strikeout to walk when you consider 67-29 over a 47 inning. So for the most part, not going to beat himself, but man, this Lynchburg lineup will give quite a test. He's going to need some help behind him.
Yeah, and he hasn't pitched since the 18th in their regular season finale, a 16-6 win over Notre Dame, where he went 3 2/3, gave up 3 hits, 3 earned runs. He did strike out 7. So, again, I think that's where we kind of talk about your defense backing up your pitcher. You face a talented team like a Lynchburg-Clay who, top to bottom, anyone can go hit, anyone can go give you that big at-bat. Your pitcher can only do so much. The other team's going to make contact. They're going to get the bat on the ball sometimes. That's where you've really got to trust the defense behind you to go out and make plays.
Yeah, then over on the other side, you mentioned the offensive year that Quinn Wells is having on the mound. He's been equally impressive. Young man comes in 7-0. He's struck out 58 guys over 36 innings, ERA under 1. To me, when I look at it with my coach's eye, I look at Portsmouth's speed top to bottom. I think limiting the strikeouts and putting the ball in play and trying to put some pressure on the Lynchburg infield could be a big factor. Your thoughts on Wells getting the ball today? Obviously a big game pitcher.
Yeah, he only went 4 1/3 in that win over Oak Hill, which, I think we talked about this a little bit on Saturday. There was some strategy involved, getting him out before he ran his pitch count up so that they could have him available for today. But just looking at some of the teams he's faced, he hasn't really been hit around as much as some of the other pitchers in our area. And the most pitches he's given up in an outing is 4 hits over a 7-inning outing against a really good Manchester team we got to see Saturday. I think this is going to be one of the first times that he's truly tested on the mound. But if there's any pitcher that Lynchburg-Clay is reliant on to face a test like this Portsmouth lineup, I think Lynchburg-Clay is confident in Quinn Wells getting the ball today to start off.
Then the last thing I wanted to touch on, most people now, we used the VA Memorial Stadium long enough in the Southeast District. They've been so gracious with their facility and helping grow the high school game. I think it's awesome. But the thing that I always talk about for people that maybe are not as familiar with the ballpark, it's a big ballpark. High school baseball, the way I always say it is it's like the high school Coors Field, right? The singles become doubles, doubles become triples. You already mentioned a young man with a leadoff home run the other night inside the park. Let's talk outfield defense. That can be really, really crucial in something like today. Two good pitchers on the mound, not always a lot of balls to the outfield, but, man, keeping the ball out of the gap, that's a huge thing in this ballpark.
Yeah, not only does the ball travel differently on this turf than it does on a normal grass playing surface, but there's also just a lot more ground to cover, both in foul ground and in the outfield as well. So those gaps are a little wider than you normally see on a high school field. You have more room behind you from maybe where you're positioned to the wall. So those outfielders on both sides just have to be alert. They have to be attentive, and you got to stay active when you see a ball coming your way. Just make sure your ground is covered. And, yeah, I think, like you said, it's going to be a tough task for these outfielders, but, this is going to be a good opportunity for them to really learn, can they play at this level? They know they can, but now it's just going to be, can they execute when the time comes?
Should be a good one. Division 5 district semifinal. It's Lynchburg. It's Portsmouth. Shane Combs, Carson Francis will have it for you. They're getting the lineup set at home plate. We're going to step aside, quick timeout, as they'll come up on the national anthem, and we'll be back with today's first pitch. You're watching high school tournament baseball on SOSA, presented by Ohio Health.
Glo Fiber is now in Ohio. And with gig speed fiber internet, we're keeping things real. As in real reliable speeds. Real people who really want to talk to you. Not to mention, real simple pricing. Switch to Glo Fiber today to get real fast, real reliable fiber internet and your first month free. Glo Fiber is here. Welcome to Glo Ohio. Call 1-833-WANT-GLO or visit glofiber.com to switch today.
Kimberly. Tons of practice. One chop away from a black belt. 7 of the best sidekicks. 5 years since her cancer diagnosis at Ohio Health.
Welcome back to VA Memorial Stadium. Lineup cards have been exchanged. Outstanding scene there when the two teams come out to the line for the national anthem. Obviously a day removed from Memorial Day. We want to give a shout out to all who have served and continue to serve that make this type of thing possible to us. And Carson, we highlighted there in our first segment a lot of the keys to the game. We highlighted the athleticism on both sides. Now it's kind of time to take the field, and I always feel like early in the first inning, the ability to calm the nerves and try to get settled into the game, big factor, especially for the person on the mound, and it helps that you have people that have been here before.
Yeah, and I think that's something that we see in a lot of high school tournament action. We talk about it in basketball with playing down at the Convo. It's a different setting than a normal high school gym. The dimensions are bigger. You have a lot of open space down on the floor. Kind of the same principles apply here. It's a bigger outfield. You have a lot more foul ground to cover. But Lynchburg-Clay has played here a couple times. Portsmouth, I don't remember 100% if they played here this year, but they've definitely got guys who have played here in years past during the regular season and in the tournament. So definitely some familiarity on both sides that I think will help with maybe the nerves and maybe just the culture shock, if that's what you want to call it, to playing here as opposed to a normal high school field that's a lot smaller than the playing surface here.
Here in the top of the first inning, Coach Duncan will send up Jacob Roth, Landon Malone, and Cameron Williams, and they'll face the very talented right-handed sophomore Quinn Wells on the mound. His battery mate, Elam Faust, two outstanding players, seem to have a good rapport together when they work together, and the ability to throw a lot of strikes and keep the speed of this Portsmouth Trojan lineup off base will be a factor, particularly early in innings. Coming up on just a slight late start of about 1:32. And it is a little muggy in the air. The flag pretty still out there. A lot of times the more, probably I'd say the most common wind here is blowing out the right center field. Today pretty calm. Looks like we're going to be a first pitch temperature of around 76 degrees. Here we go, Division 5 district semifinal. Quinn Wells fires a fastball in there for a get-ahead strike, and we're underway. Working quickly, right back at it. Takes a little something off of that one. Fouled back over the first base dugout out by the playground area here at VA Memorial Stadium. And just like that, ahead 0-2.
We saw this a lot early on in the season when Wells pitched. He does not waste any time.
Ball down. Faust tried to drop and block, and it bounces away. No harm, but certainly on a live strike three, if he'd have been swinging, that could have been a factor. Yeah, now the 1-2 misses way outside, back 2-2. And we talked about the quick pace of Wells. That's something, if he's throwing strikes, works to his favor. Sometimes if he starts to get loose a little bit, Faust does a good job of getting him slowed down. There's a ball hit perfectly right down inside the bag. And there goes that speed of Roth you talked about. Never breaking stride, in with a stand-up double. Good piece of two-strike hitting. Just was able to sneak it right down inside that bag and placed it perfectly.
That's a little bit like how he led off the Alexander game, where he just saw a pitch he liked, took it into left field. Obviously not the same result, but a great start for the Trojans lineup.
Well, great opportunity for Portsmouth when you get the speed of a Jacob Roth on base. Certainly a factor. A young man has 27 stolen bases. He has the 8 triples and that inside the park home run. That speed you're talking about, got to keep an eye on him here. He'll take third on you. Wells works from the stretch pretty much exclusively anyway, so this doesn't change it up. There he steps off and wants Faust to start the sign sequence again. Now the pitch, going to try to bunt him over. Well placed out. Wells comes off the mound and loses his footing a little bit, and just like that, the speed game of Portsmouth is a factor. I would say that's going to go as a base hit, even though he lost his footing.
Yeah, just the speed of Malone there laying down that bunt, got to first pretty quick. And just like that, the Trojans threatening right away.
Worst case scenario, you sacrifice him over, but when the speed turns it into a hit, now you got first and third, nobody out. Malone does have the 11 stolen bases. Let's see how Lynchburg would play it if he takes off. He stays put on this first pitch as Wells misses away. Just underway, Shane Combs, Carson Francis, Division 5 district semifinal. Now the runner's going. That ball gets away. It goes all the way to the backstop. That's going to bring Roth home. Below now going to try three. The throw beats him there. They put the tag down and they got him. What a big play there in terms of damage control. Great throw from Elam Faust all the way from the backstop. That's a long, long throw in this ballpark. And good news for Portsmouth. They get the run, but I tell you, kind of an opportunity for Lynchburg-Clay to limit the damage with a great throw there.
Yeah, obviously, if you're the Mustangs, you give up the run, but that's a big first out right there. When you can, anytime you can get an out when the ball is not in play, that's huge. And being able to prevent another run from Portsmouth that would have just been 90 feet away, it's going to be huge. And hopefully that can help Wells settle in just a little bit from the mound.
You know, it's always the hindsight. You know, the kids hustling, trying to take the extra bag. If you have the speed of Portsmouth, you want to have that aggressive mindset in this ballpark, 'cause that's how you play. Obviously, a costly out there, but something to keep an eye on throughout the day, because I think more times than not, with Portsmouth speed, if they're playing hard and they're staying aggressive, we've already watched one situation where the speed puts a lot of pressure on the defense.
And I think that's another thing that we forget when we talk about the dimensions in this ballpark, from the plate to the backstop. A lot more space here than at a typical high school baseball playing surface.
Wells does go to a more traditional windup here and gets the 2-0 strike, and now comes right back. And after the mound visit there, firing back in the strike zone, even 2-2 to Cameron Williams, the center fielder. Williams comes in hitting .380. Off speed to the outside at 70 miles per hour, paints the black. That's a good pitch to a good hitter there for the first strikeout of the afternoon.
And that's a good bounce back from Wells, just being able to get that first punch out. And already now 2 away after some chaos caused by the Trojans.
Trevin Brooks will be the 2-out batter. Comes in hitting .440, leads the team in RBIs with 26. There's a swing and a miss on an off-speed pitch. And, you know, Carson, when you and I work together, I always talk about putting little stars next to key defensive plays. I just feel like we're going to look back on that throw from Faust to kind of help settle his team into the game as a big, big play. 1-1 pitch. Wells comes to the plate there. Ball misses low and away. Brooks, a good athlete, hits with a lot of pop, but can run pretty well in the cleanup spot as well. That ball does catch the outside corner. Evens the count 2-2. That ball misses away. You know, I was laughing earlier in the year when I was watching Wells pitch. He certainly wouldn't be hurt by the pitch clock in today's game, would he?
Not at all.
He gets it and goes.
Like I said, he wastes no time.
3-2 pitch. That ball's hammered to left. That ball's going to get down and get all the way to the wall. Brooks turns and heads to second base. That ball will come into the cut, and there's a 2-out double, and Portsmouth going to try to add on to what's already been a 1-run inning.
It's just a good piece of 2-out hitting there from Brooks, and you know that was a theme that we saw for a little bit on Saturday, just teams being able to put together those rallies with 2 outs, as Trevin Brooks looking to get one started with that 2-out double.
Eli Roth will be the 2-out batter, an RBI opportunity. First pitch in there for a strike. Lynchburg will play him pretty straight up. Outfield probably medium depth. Pretty good arms all the way around there with Roberts, Niehaus, and Van Fleet left to right. There's a pitch. It is a strike. A little bit, sometimes you get a delayed signal, so that's why I try not to guess here when I'm making the call. Way ahead now, Quinn Wells, trying to put him away and get out of this jam. Limit the damage to just the 1 run. That ball's low and away down in the dirt. Now they're going to go to third, and they got him again. Elon Faust having a first inning there, bailing his team out with his arm on 2 occasions, and that's going to kill the 2-out rally and limit the damage to just 1. Nonetheless, Portsmouth gets on the board with a run. Lynchburg coming to bat. Shane Combs, Carson Francis. You're watching high school tournament baseball on SOSA, presented by Ohio Health.
Swing and a liner to left field. Pates will walk it off. That one base is loaded in 2. Pitch. It is low, and this one dripped the pitch. Skied into center field, hit pretty well. Major back to the track, to the wall. It is gone.
At Chillicothe Comfort Heating and Air, your comfort is our priority year-round.
Whether it's blazing hot or freezing cold, we've got your back with fast, reliable service you can trust.
Locally owned, honest, and done right the first time.
We have financing options available for every budget, as well as 60 months, 0% interest.
Call us today and feel the difference that comfort makes.
to 29 walks, and I think that's an important balance today because obviously Lynchburg's offense is good enough. You certainly can't help them out with the free passes. Harley Lewis, the speedy shortstop, will lead things off for Lynchburg. Elam Faust and Quinn Wells will follow. Working from the stretch there. Sherlock. First pitch swinging. Lewis swings through it for strike one. Looks like Brooks might be having a little trouble with the, they're using a pitch comm device. Something he kind of went to the helmet and looked back over toward the dugout area. Couldn't tell. Now it looks like they're settled in okay. 1-1 pitch. Misses down a little bit, 2-1. Just like Wells, Skurlock doesn't mind working fairly fast. Now he fires home. That ball's hit out towards second base and will find its way through on into center field. Nice job, Harley Lewis, going the other way. Leadoff single, and now the speed of Lewis on base. That'll certainly draw the attention of the Portsmouth battery of Skurlock and Brooks.
You have talked about the speed in the top of Portsmouth's lineup, and Lynchburg-Clay going to try and counter that with the speed on the bases of their own.
That lefty move misses to the outside. We'll kind of give the quick knee. Also has the ability to lift that knee and freeze the runner a little bit. Ball's fouled away. You know, Carson, one thing that I can promise you is different here now that we're into the district level. You have 3 umpires throughout the year. You have the umpire located out behind him. Every lefty's going to have a good balk move. Today, it's going to have to be a little bit, I don't know, truer, I guess is the word I would say, in terms of making sure that knee stays where it's supposed to. Now after pitcher and catcher meet, still not quite on the same page there. Skurlock will back off and now seems ready to go. Comes home. Throw down there. Back in time.
As a reminder, there will be no artificial noisemakers at today's game that can result in immediate ejection.
Faust had squared the bunt there as we hear the announcement over the top. OHSA rule here in that situation with the noisemakers. They make that announcement. There's a good bunt up the third base line coming hard as Atkins. Not going to have a play. And just as we see Portsmouth speed game impact the top half of the inning, now Lynchburg able to do the same here in the bottom half. 2 on, nobody out.
There's a good job there from Faust to just put that bunt in a perfect spot. Atkins had a good play on it, just unable to get there in time to make the throw to first, and now Lynchburg-Clay looking to make some noise in their half of the first.
First and second, nobody out. Dangerous Quinn Wells steps into the box. That ball's down and in. Now they're going to go to third, throw down there. Not in time. Good read there from Lewis. Bang, bang play. He's able to slide head first in front of the tag. Alertly moving up behind him is Faust, and now second and third, nobody out. Now we're going to have a mound visit the other side, and I think it's just your typical calm things down. This is what both of these offenses can do to you. Their speed can put a lot of pressure on you. Now, you might argue that the speed of Portsmouth kind of ended up running themselves into some trouble there in the first half. Now, Lynchburg in a prime spot, 2 speedy guys on, best hitter at the plate, chance to really put up a crooked number here in the bottom half of the first inning.
Yeah, and this is what we talked about, for Portsmouth in that last game. They just got out early, never really looked back, jumped on them from the first pitch, and Portsmouth had theirs in their half, but Lynchburg-Clay trying to answer, get that run back, and then some. And no better opportunity to do it than with your best player at the plate, 2 runners already on and nobody out.
Going to pull Atkins and Roth in over on the left side. Now the second baseman, Landon Malone, starts to walk in with him. So it looks like infield's going to go ahead and play this aggressively in all the way around here early on. So if you're Quinn Wells just looking for a ball that you can handle and just hit it hard, And the field really opens up to you. Now he's going to put the hand up. Gets his time, steps back, and now ready to go. Big spot here early in this one. Ball comes in, goes behind. Actually, probably fortunate for Portsmouth that it hit him. It is going to load the bases, but if that ball goes to the backstop, then a run was going to come home, another one was going to go to third, and I think we're going to have a pitching change right here. So early pitching change, bases loaded, nobody out. We'll get all the movement for you when we come back. We'll step aside, quick timeout. You're watching high school tournament baseball here on SOSA, presented by Ohio Health.
Are you looking for the best deals on quality used trucks and cars?
Great news. Chillicothe Truck has what you're looking for.
Choose from a wide selection of makes and models. All vehicles undergo a detailed multi-point inspection and extensive reconditioning before hitting the lot. Our friendly team offers a no-pressure sales experience, ensuring you find the perfect vehicle to fit your needs. Plus, you can customize your ride with our extensive range of truck accessories, from bed covers to lift kits. Stop by 173 Rennick Avenue in Chillicothe or call us today at 740-773-8782 to get started right now.
Our employees certainly get the credit for that growth. The relationships that they build, people want to deal with people they can trust, they know, feel connected to. And I think that's where a community bank such as Kingston really shines. The color of money is the same no matter where you go, but I think the people behind it is what makes the difference. Having the empathy to understand what's going on in someone's business or personal lives and how you might be able to help it. I think our customers expect that, want that, and truthfully, they deserve that.
Welcome back here, VA Memorial Stadium. Quick pitching change here in the bottom of the first inning as Lynchburg-Clay got a base hit from Harley Lewis, a bunt single from Elon Faust, and then a hit by pitch to Quinn Wells. What I was saying, kind of a fortunate break for them, is it was going to bring a run home and take another guy to third, and Wells was still going to be batting with nobody out. Now, nonetheless, it does load the bases and brings up four-hole hitter Trevor Niehaus, but not before Coach Duncan's going to make the pitching change here. Looks like Logan Atkins will come in off of third base, and then Carson will try to figure out. Right now they're coming together talking at certain positions. We'll try to get a read here on who went where and try to fill that in defensively. The new third baseman over here.
If I can see correctly, I believe Cameron Williams comes in from center field to take over at third.
Okay. And then out there in center field.
Trying to get a number on that. It's a little far out, and I don't have a pair of binoculars on.
Can't tell if that's
believe
because in the lineup, Owen Wells was your designated hitter for Skurlock. I don't know if he stayed in the game defensively or not.
I am
like
not
going.
I'm not going to try and assume for sure, but I believe that number 22 Braxton Carr is out there in center field.
Okay.
Don't quote me on that, because we'll find out next time Portsmouth comes up to bat.
All right, so to get us reset here, great opportunity for Lynchburg-Clay to really put some runs on the board. Still nobody out, bases loaded. 4, 5, 6 coming up now with Trevor Niehaus, the center fielder, stepping in. Atkins comes plate, catches the outside corner for a strike. Niehaus had 3 RBI the other night in their first round win. Infield in, looking for a ground ball to come home. They get one, but it's a big, big chopper. Going to make him go across the first. Good decision there from Roth. Once that ball hit off the turf and went way up in the air, only play was at first. So good job of getting the out. That's the situation here early in the game. Got to have outs or it can get away from you in a hurry. So the run does score to tie it at 1. Now second and third. Infield will remain in. Keep in mind now, coming home will result in a tag play. Christian Beachy is your one-out batter. Atkins works from the stretch, misses low and away. Beachy comes in hitting 349. Pops it straight up in the air. Great opportunity. Catcher goes off. Someone's got to recover the plate. Outstanding job by the shortstop. Carson, I don't know if you picked up on that. Pitcher, catcher, first baseman all going there. Alertly, the speed of Faust was thinking tag up, and Roth comes sprinting in from the shortstop position. Heads up baseball there. Good play as well from Brooks. Now a chance to get out of it with 2 outs.
Yeah, that's a big second out. Great job by Brooks calling his own number to get that catch in foul ground. And a good job by Logan Atkins so far, coming in, inheriting bases loaded, getting 2 quick outs.
Goes to the off speed. Big looping curveball misses just off the outside corner. Tanner Roberts now, it'll be up to him with 2 outs if they're going to be able to get more in at this point. Comes in hitting 385, on base 512. Nice job of Brooks keeping that ball in front. Roberts immediately got the stop sign up to Faust down there to let him know not to come. One run in, 2 on, 2 out. Tanner Roberts, the batter, ahead 1-0 in the count. Atkins comes to the plate. Finds the outside corner at the knees. Nice job by Brooks there to catch that with the strong wrist and frame it well to showcase the pitch. Now I think we got 2-1 on the board, so I think we. Atkins goes back to the curveball and again misses away. Again, nice job by Brooks to work hard there, and Brooks going to walk it back out. Big spot in the game. We talked about Portsmouth might feel like they left one on the table there with some aggressive base running in the first inning, but now you talk about stealing it right back. If you get out of this only giving up 1, you'd feel pretty good about that on the counterpart.
No doubt.
Ball misses away, and that's going to be ball 4, and Roberts will head on down. Base is loaded, and good hitter in Caden Boone coming to the plate, the designated hitter. Boone also had 3 RBI in that first round win. Very, very capable hitter from the left side. 2-out spot, force at every base. Boone trying to come up with a big hit for his team here in the early going. That ball misses up for ball 1. Infield back to regular depth, looking to see where the ground ball takes him. That ball's in there. No, it's not. It misses up and away. So 2-0 the count, nowhere to put him.
Feel like
Atkins in need of a strike.
Feel like he's trying to work the corners right now. If you're Atkins, yeah, you just got to give him something to swing at. It's a called strike there.
Needed a strike and got one. Boone still ahead in the count 2-1. Faust leads from first, Wells from second. Or excuse me, Niehaus at second, and then Roberts over at first. And it got him, a hitter. So that'll be the second run of the inning as Faust comes home. Everybody will move up 90 feet. Base is still loaded, still the 2-out spot for Max Baker, the 8-hole hitter. couple of those early pitches just missed in that Boone at bat, and I thought it changed the entire momentum that Atkins was starting to feel as he'd come into a tough situation. There's a pitch that catches the outside corner, strike one. Working from the stretch. Fires to the outside corner again and again, rewarded with the call. Way ahead 0-2. Lynchburg leads it. It's been an exciting first inning. A lot of base runners, a lot of good action on the offensive side. Pitchers trying to settle in. There's an 0-2 swing that fouls it back out of play as Baker will live to see another pitch. There's a curveball, chopper. Williams coming hard, throws across the diamond in time to limit the damage just to the 2. Well, both teams get on the board in the first inning. Lynchburg leads at 2-1. You're watching high school tournament baseball on SOSA, presented by Ohio Health.
For 175 years, the Glockner name has stood for trust. Today, that promise continues. Every time your family turns the key. Generations have trusted us for one reason. We never stopped caring. From preschool drop-offs to road trips, you leave our service center knowing your family is in the safest hands possible. 175 years of social proof that this isn't just service. It's a promise from our family to yours.
At North Fork Animal Clinic, we're more than your pet's health care. We're your neighbors. We combine top quality veterinary care with the availability you can count on, keeping tails wagging and pets thriving. And as proud supporters of youth sports in Southern Ohio, we're committed to helping our whole community grow strong. North Fork Animal Clinic, caring for pets, supporting our community.
Welcome back to VA Memorial Stadium. Shane Combs alongside Carson Francis, and it's been an exciting first inning. A lot going on, as good as these pitchers have been throughout the year, facing some talented offensive lineups today, and the speed of these lineups have put some pressure on the pitching staff early and often. Back in the top of the first half, Jacob Roth led off with a double. He would move to third on an infield bunt single from Landon Malone, and he would eventually score on a wild pitch, but Malone was trying to go first to third here in the big ballpark, and Elam Faust threw a strike to knock him down there at third base. And then later with 2 outs, Trevin Brooks doubled, and he would try to move up on a ball down on a drop and block, and Faust was able to throw him out at third as well. So the arm of Elam Faust able to limit Portsmouth just to the 1 run. Lynchburg comes back with 2 of their own and leave the bases loaded in the bottom. So as we move to the second inning, Wells and company will try to settle in and calm things down a little bit. Eli Roth, the 5-hole hitter, remember he was in the box when Brooks was thrown out trying to go to third, so he'll lead things off, and he's quickly ahead 2-0. Braxton Carr and Logan Atkins will follow in the inning. That ball finds the strike zone on the outside corner. Now 2-1. Eli Roth, the first baseman. That ball misses down, and again now Portsmouth just a pitch away from getting another speed guy on base to start their second offensive attempt here in the top of the second inning. Taking all the way, strike there, 3-2. Eli Roth comes in hitting .355 in 2026. Gets tied up there on the inside, tries to get the bat to it, certainly went around, and that'll be a strikeout swinging. Nice job of Wells to battle back in the bat.
Yeah, sometimes that high heat on the payoff pitch can fool some hitters who are looking to be aggressive. Bates him with one, and he bites.
Now Braxton Carr will take his chance in the batter's box for the first time. Braxton, a 314 hitter. That ball about got him on the inside quarter, just kind of tucked the shoulder. He certainly, you can see, he certainly comes right up on top of that plate there. There's a ball. Good pitch for strike two, and now Wells in front of the hitter. Wells comes with the 1-2. Good pitch there. Fights it off down toward the Portsmouth bullpen. Just trying to stay alive there. Wells coming up in the low 80s there at times, the high 70s, low 80s with the fastball, and then he drops that off speed. He can certainly change the timing of the hitter. 1-2 pitch. Gets away from him to the outside. Evens count 2-2. There's a swing. Lifts a fly ball. A lot of foul ground here at VA Memorial Stadium. That ball will find the top of the first base dugout. Great hustle from Faust. Baker also giving a look from first base. A lot of times pitch count wise, Carson, you have one of those first innings, you'd like to come back with a real efficient second and try to get that pitch count back on a better pace. There's a swing and a miss. Strikeout number 3 here in the early going, and Quinn Wells trying to do just that. Sitting on about 32 pitches after a 20-plus pitch count in the first inning. Certainly would love the 1-2-3 inning here in a second.
Yeah, wouldn't be bad at all. Just love the way Wells has gone out and attacked the heart of this Portsmouth lineup after getting hit around, some defensive miscues there in the first inning.
There's a swing and a backside shot to right field for Logan Atkins, who was the third baseman, now has moved to the pitcher's mound. He gets a 2-out base hit. On out to right field. That'll give the designated hitter Owen Wells a chance to hit with 2 outs. As we said, we know Atkins went to the mound. We'll better have those defensive movements for you in the home half of the second inning when we get a better look at it. Ball goes to the outside. Good job there from Faust. Been real impressed with Faust behind the plate when I've seen him this year. Real athletic. Obviously, he's already shown off the arm twice in this game. Runner going. Here's another chance for him to throw down. Pretty good throw, a little bit high, and they're going to say he got under. That was a bang-bang play. Good throw. Came in just high, and Atkins going head first. Gets just in time. Give him a big 2-out stolen base there, and that's Atkins, 18 stolen base on the year, so certainly something he can do with the speed game. There's a swing and a miss on a fastball up and away. So now all of a sudden with 2 outs, this has turned into another RBI opportunity for a Portsmouth hitter. This time in Owen Wells. Pitch to the outside, fouled back. So battle of Wells here, Quinn versus Owen. 2-2 count, 2 out. Logan Atkins out there at second base representing what would be the tying run here early in this ball game as Lynchburg leads it 2-1. There's a nice off-speed pitch and strikes out the side there. Now has 4 on the day, and good sign for Lynchburg as Wells starts to settle in. Played 1.5. Lynchburg leads at 2-1. You're watching high school tournament baseball on SOSA presented by Ohio Health.
Mark. 6 months of training. 8 miles to go. A 3-way tie for almost last place. And 3 years since he and his team at Ohio Health left cancer in the dust.
Welcome back here to VA Memorial Stadium as Portsmouth comes back onto the field. Carson trying to help me sort out the defensive movement that's so common in high school baseball, Carson, especially in small school. You make those pitching changes. Oftentimes it's not as easy as just, I go here, you go there. A lot of times you get a little musical chairs started to play defensively, and Portsmouth certainly had to do that there in the first inning.
Yeah, when Leland Skurlock came off the mound in the first, the third baseman Logan Adkins went to the mound. Cameron Williams moved to third base from center. That shifted Braxton Carr from right to center, and then the designated hitter Owen Wells is now playing defense in right field. Just, it's a pretty easy shift to make as a coach, but maybe not as easy to follow for us up here in the broadcast booth or for those watching in the stands.
Yeah, it's certainly a tricky dynamic. You get a lot of guys at the high school level, and it's just like any level of baseball. If you get someone who can play 2 or 3 different positions, it certainly gives you some versatility. Throughout all my years of coaching, some years it was real easy, and some years, to be honest, it was extremely difficult to make some changes because you just weren't blessed with some of that versatility. 9-1-2 here for Lynchburg in the bottom of the second inning. Eric Slack will lead things off. Slack having a tremendous year. Comes in batting .379 on base. Now Atkins in need of a strike. And he gets it. So 3-1. Slack trying to find his way on base with the top of the order getting ready to hit behind him. And he's going to do that with a 5-pitch walk. So now the speed of Slack on base, and again, what a weapon, basically like hitting a double leadoff man down there. Now the speed of Lewis comes up, and you've got all kinds of options. We watched Lewis line a single into right field earlier in the game. Certainly a bunt is a possibility here. Stole a base, anything with this speed combination. Slack leads from first, not going anywhere on the first pitch. First pitch, a slow curveball. Pretty good job by Brooks to keep it in front. Slack leads once again. Atkins will take a peek at him. Now comes set. Slack faked the go. Stayed put. And once again, Atkins falling behind in the order, in the count to the top of the order here at 2-0. Good opportunity for Lynchburg here at the top of the order up. Slack's going to go on the pitch, a little hit and run right at the shortstop, steps on second base, and turns the double play. Jacob Brogg, you couldn't draw it up any better if you were Portsmouth. With the runner going, he was even starting to move glove side to cover. Ball hit really hard right at him. By the time he fields it, he's a step away from the bag and then fires it over to Eli Roth for the 6-3 double play. So that's a big play as it erases the speed of both Slack and Lewis off the bases, and Elam Faust will be the 2-out batter. There's a get-ahead strike as he takes something off the off-speed. Faust kind of fought off an inside pitch and laid a beautiful bunt down the third base line, and with his speed, Atkins was playing third at the time, had no chance. Now Atkins on the mound pitching. Again, goes through the off-speed, back-to-back.
SOSA's The Dugout is Chillicothe's premier indoor baseball and softball training facility designed to serve local baseball and softball players of all ages. The Dugout is equipped with our fully featured hit tracks, the next-gen data capture and simulation system providing athletes with real-time feedback with the capability of playing in any of the 30 Major League Baseball stadiums. The dugout has a 70-foot by 12-foot batting and pitching cage, and every user has access to baseball and softball pitching machines, plyo wall and arm strength bands, pitching mounds and softball mats, multiple tees and hitting nets. Wall-to-wall AstroTurf, 285-inch TVs and Bluetooth speakers make the dugout the place to be for all of our area baseball and softball players, no matter the age. Train year-round, improve your performance, and further develop your skills in a fun and competitive environment at SOSA's The Dugout. Located in the heart of downtown Chillicothe at 185 East Main Street. Visit our website at sosadugout.com to reserve a time today.
Glow Fiber is now in Ohio. And with gig speed fiber internet, we're keeping things real. As in real reliable speeds. Real people who really want to talk to you. Not to mention, real simple pricing. Switch to Glow Fiber today to get real fast, real reliable fiber internet and your first month free. Glow Fiber is here. Welcome to Glow Ohio. Call 1-833-WANT-GLOW or visit glowfiber.com to switch today.
Third inning as Lynchburg-Clay will come to the plate with Quinn Wells, Trevor Niehaus, and Christian Beachy out of the 3-4-5 hole. They lead it 2-1. First inning was kind of a wild turn of events both ways. I mean, both teams probably felt like they had an opportunity to score even more. Portsmouth got an early run, but had two guys thrown out at third base by catcher Elam Faust. And then in the home half, Lynchburg did get a couple runs, but they left the bases loaded. So when all settled, it's 2-1, and Logan Atkins continues to try to settle in as he had come on in relief. Just three batters in. Been able to do a pretty good job using the off-speed pitch, Carson, to kind of use the get-ahead pitch with the slow curveball. There's another one, and that ball's hit pretty well right at the left fielder. Good snag out there by Kane Boggs for the first out. Wells certainly hit it hard, but hit it right at him.
That was a good swing, good hack by Wells, but just hits it right into a Portsmouth glove, quickly one away. Like the way Logan Adkins has attacked from the mound, getting some good first pitch strikes, getting some contact where it makes it easy on his defense to get those easy outs.
There's a hard ground ball. Niehaus went with the pitch, and Eli Roth went to the knee, did a good job of staying down on the ball and kept it in front of him, got up and went to the bag. Again, just a one pitch, one out. That helps the pitch count. Another nice defensive play. 2 outs in the inning. So now Christian Beachy will give a try. Beachy ended up hitting a high fly ball to the catcher back in the first inning with the bases loaded.
Third baseman number 33, Christian Beachy.
Beachy comes in hitting right around 349 on the season. That pitch finds the outside corner, evens the count 1-1. So yeah, Atkins again comes in off third base about 3 batters into the inning and has really done a nice job of settling things down. And that curveball has really been his go-to pitch, and it's been able to keep the hitters off balance, but he's been able to throw it for a strike whenever he's wanted to, for the most part. That time he uses the fastball and paints the outside corner. There's a chopper back up the middle. Second baseman Malone ranging all the way, but just going to be too long to throw. Roth does a nice job coming off the bag, make sure it doesn't get away. That's going to go down as an infield hit, I'm sure. And Beachy will be a 2-out base runner.
That was a good play by Malone at second to get there, but Beachy just put it in a spot that made Malone have to cover a little extra ground, give him some extra time to get to first.
So Tanner Roberts will get an opportunity here with 2 outs and a man aboard. Takes a pitch just down under the knees for ball 1. Roberts walked back in the first inning. Pitch misses just off the outside part of the plate. Roberts playing left field today and hitting in the 6 hole for Lynchburg. Misses not by much, but runs the count to 3-0, and all of a sudden, another one of these spots we've seen so much in tournament action so far, Carson, where there's 2 outs, nobody on, and you look up a few pitches later and you get yourself in a little bit of a jam here. That ball does catch the inside corner for strike 1. Roberts was about to toss the bat, so there must be a verbal call down there on the field, and then the signal that we see from up here. Here's a chopper to shortstop. Roth gets a beat on it. Steps, throws across, and that will retire Lynchburg here in the bottom of the 3. We played 3 complete. Lynchburg 2, Portsmouth 1. You are watching Division 5 District Semifinal action here on SOSA, presented by Ohio Health.
Since 1853, Tomlinson Insurance has been protecting families, farms, and businesses in our community. As an independent agency, we offer personalized coverage for your auto, home, farm, and business. plus health and life insurance too. And we proudly partner with Erie Insurance to give you peace of mind with reliable coverage at competitive rates. Tomlinson Insurance. Let our history be your future. Call us today at 740-773-4181 or visit us at tomlinsonins.com.
We've played 3 complete with Lynchburg out in front of Portsmouth 2-1 as we head off to the top of the 4th inning. It'll be 3-4-5 for Portsmouth. And Carson, we were talking off air, but the winner of this one Thursday down at OU, the 4:30 game, I believe it is. We'll get the Valley Northwest winner, and you're telling me you had a score update on that one.
Bottom of the 3rd inning, nobody out. Valley has 2 runners on, and they're already up 5-0. Northwest without a base hit through 3 innings as well, as the talented athlete Gabe McNeil is the starting pitcher for the Indians today. Valley, another very talented baseball team out of the SOC 3, looking to get back into the district final. Valley was one of the victims of Lynchburg-Clay's Final Four run last year.
Yeah, Valley been a heavy favorite there on the bracket. When they get their offense going that early, man, that make that pitching staff that much better. Certainly going to be a tough out tournament-wise, and they seem to be well in control of that one as Cameron Williams takes strike 1 and then follows that up with ball 1. So 1-1 count here, hitting out of the 3-hole. Williams was a strikeout victim back in the 1st inning. He was looking. Brooks and Eli Roth will follow here in the 4th inning as Portsmouth in need of a run to get even. The 1-2 pitch climbs the ladder. That'll even to count 2-2. Williams started the game at center field and then had to move into third base when Atkins was called to the mound. That ball just misses on the outside corner, so Williams does see some pitches here, trying to find a way on here to jumpstart his offense. There's a ground ball shortstop. Lewis ranges glove side, steps, and throws. Head first slide there from Williams, but throw beats him by plenty, and that'll be the first out of the inning.
The catcher number 5, Trevin Brooks.
So Harley Lewis, he was the guy on the first part of that 6-3 double play to end the the top half of the 3rd inning, and there the ground out to start the top half of the 4th, having a nice defensive game today. Trevin Brooks will bat with 1 out. He doubled on a well-hit ball down to the left field corner, back with 2 outs in the 1st inning, but he was the 2nd Portsmouth Trojan to be cut down at third base by the arm of Elam Faust. There's a big swing and miss. Counts 2-1. Wells continues to work quickly as he normally will when nobody's on base especially. That ball misses and 3-1. There's a high hopper right at Beachy at third. He'll step and throw across. Good stretch there from Max Baker for the 2nd out of the inning. Talked about the importance, Carson, of the ground ball defense, and here in recent hitters we see Lewis up to the challenge and Beachy as well.
Yeah, we talked about the ability of your defense to back you up as a pitcher, and sure Quinn Wells has to like the way his defense has backed him up through these last couple innings or so after giving up the run in the opening frame.
Wells went off speed there on the first pitch, got the swing and miss, then misses with the 0-1 fastball, evens count 1-1. Eli Roth strikeout swinging back to start the 2nd inning. That ball catches the corner, so Wells quickly ahead. Wells coming up on 60 pitches here in the 4th inning, so after a tough 1st inning, really finding the efficiency as well. That ball's off the plate. 2-2 count. Goes to the fastball there and just misses his spot. And again, another full count. To this point, Wells has not walked a batter, so when he's needed a strike, he's been able to throw one, and he does there, but that ball's lined back up the middle. That'll find its way into center field, so Eli Roth is aboard with a line drive single. Niehaus will make the play and toss it back in, and the 2-out batter will be Braxton Carr. Carr also a strikeout victim back in the second.
Center fielder number 22, Braxton Carr.
Braxton Carr, 314 hitter on the year. So Eli Roth will lead for first base. Not going on the first pitch, and that ball misses away. Logan Atkins would be the on-deck hitter. He did single in his first plate appearance. If they're able to get him back there, and quickly now 2-0. Carr ahead of Wells. There's a pitch. That ball finds the outside corner 2-1. And of course, when we talk about these 2-out rallies, it also ups the pitch count, right? When you think he might be out at 59, 60 pitches, now he's getting ready to throw a 67th pitch. There's a hard ground ball back up the middle. Great diving effort, but he couldn't come up with it. Slack kept it in the infield. I think his first instinct was to try to flip it up to Lewis there at second, and he just couldn't quite get a handle on it. What a great effort.
Yeah, good dive by Lewis to keep that ball from getting into the outfield. Just couldn't get up cleanly. Couldn't get the ball out cleanly and had no play. Now if you're Portsmouth, great opportunity to take advantage, getting 2 runners on with 2 outs.
First pitch catches the outside corner for a strike. As I mentioned, Logan Atkins singled his first time. That was on a little line drive right over top of Slack out there at second base in the right field. Here's a swing, a ground ball. Back up, ramps over the mound, and Lewis does a nice job of playing it and getting to the bag for the fielder's choice in the force out to end the inning. Portsmouth threatens, but they leave 2. They still trail at 2-1. It's halftime here as we head to the home half of the fourth. You're watching high school tournament baseball on SOSA, presented by Ohio Health.
This broadcast is brought to you in part by Willie & Son Trucking. Willie & Son Trucking has been a proud supporter of local student athletes, coaches, and athletic programs throughout its history. Be sure to look out for the Shack Athlete of the Week, presented by Willie & Son Trucking, each week at SOSAOhio.com.
Richard. Countless nights in the garage. 8 shiny new pistons. 1 very happy 16-year-old granddaughter. And 2 years since starting cancer treatment at Ohio Health.
Welcome back here to VA Memorial Stadium. A little bit of a muggy day, but overall a dry day to this point, which we'll take after what's been a wet stretch. That's why the field turf here at the VA Memorial Stadium is such a great thing to have in terms of getting these games played as scheduled.
Yeah, there is a light rain that is beginning to come down just a little bit, not anything too heavy that's going to keep us from playing like what we had the other day. And certainly I don't think these players and the 2 respective coaching staffs mind that at all.
I see some umbrellas starting to come down the route there. We did expect this one opportunity for rain throughout about a 2-hour window here in this part of the day. So we'll hope that we can keep it on the light side so that we can continue to play baseball. Carson and I obviously spoiled rotten up here in the booth, dry as ever. Caden Boone will lead things off here in the 4th inning for Lynchburg. That ball catches the inside corner for a strike. Boone was hit by a pitch back in the 1st inning, got an RBI out of it. Remember, the bases were loaded when that happened. Takes something off there and misses. And it'll be Boone with Baker and Slack to follow. And if you're rooting for Lynchburg, you hope a lot more back to the top of the order. There's a ground ball foul wide of first. If you're Portsmouth, you'd love to retire in order and not have to face the top of the order in this inning. Logan Atkins has been solid coming on. He inherited the bases loaded He got a ground out, which was an RBI, and then looked like he was going to get out of it after a fly ball. But then he walked the bases back loaded, and then, as I said, hit Boone before getting Baker to ground out. So the Lynchburg did come away with 2. That 2-strike pitch just misses on the outside corner. Now Atkins fired. There's a swing and a line shot out to center field. Carr over to cut it off, and that'll hold Boone to 1, but a well-hit ball for a leadoff single there. Boone now 1 for 1 with that RBI on the hit by pitch earlier, having a nice day out of the 7 hole.
Yeah, if you're Lynchburg-Clay, you're at the point where you're starting to maybe need a little bit of insurance. You know, Portsmouth just has the 1 run, but they've been getting guys on base when they bring the bats up. You know, could only be a matter of time before they're able to bring one across. So if you're Lynchburg-Clay, an insurance run or 2 wouldn't be the worst thing in the world here.
Baker showing bunt on the sacrifice, and with Williams charging hard at third, he was trying to send it up at first base line and force Atkins to come off the mound. That was what he should be trying to do. He just was unable to get it to go fair for him. So strike 1. See if they keep the bunt on there. It'd make a lot of sense with a hitter like Slack on deck. As I said earlier, Slack not your typical 9-hole hitter. He's more of a double leadoff man there. They do, but he'll pull back. That ball misses off the outer half. So, again, in this situation, when the third baseman's crashing down, you want to send that ball up the first base line. Force Roth to come off the bag to get it, or force Atkins to come off the mound to go all the way over to the line to get it. And that's just outstanding. Bunts it exactly where you're supposed to. Good fundamental baseball. Atkins comes off and gets it, throws it on down for the put out. So the sacrifice will go 1-3. So move Boone up to second, and Eric Slack will now get an RBI opportunity. I believe that was still Roth covering on that. I think Atkins caught him off early enough for him to stay home. There's a hard ground ball, but out in front of it a little bit.
This is where, if you're Logan Atkins, you really just got to focus on the batter in front of you. Yes, you have a runner in scoring position, but getting out number 2 is the most important part.
0-1 to count. That ball misses away. Carson, that Boone single was their 4th hit of the day. Portsmouth has out-hit them 7-4, but again, you go back to Faust throwing a couple guys out in the first inning, and then you think of the double play ball, and it's just Portsmouth hasn't been able to get the most out of their 7 hits. There's another ground ball wide of third, and Atkins ahead in the count 1-2. Carson makes a great point on any ground ball here. You'd like to keep him from moving up, but you want that second out for sure. There's a good pitch to the outside corner, and he rings him up. I don't think he went, so he had to be on the pitch. So I'm going to put that down as the backwards K. So much needed strikeout for Atkins there, and he dodges one RBI opportunity, but now with 2 outs, it'll go back to the top of the order, and he'll have to be able to work his way through Harley Lewis to get out of this jam. There's a first pitch out wide for ball 1. Lewis singled back in the bottom of the first inning, and then remember on the little hit and run, he hit into the double play. Hit it hard, just hit it right at Roth, who stepped on the bag and turned the double play. There's a hard ground ball to third. Williams fields. He throws across and throws a strike to end the threat. We're through 4 here at VA Memorial Stadium with a light rain falling. This is the Division 5 District Semifinal, and you're watching it on SOSA, presented by Ohio Health.
Glow Fiber is now in Ohio. And with gig speed fiber internet, we're keeping things real. As in real, reliable speeds. Real people who really want to talk to you. Not to mention, real simple pricing. Switch to Glow Fiber today to get real fast, real reliable fiber internet and your first month free. Glow Fiber is here. Welcome to Glowhio. Call 1-833-WANT-GLOW or visit glowfiber.com to switch today.
Kimberly. Tons of practice. One chop away from a black belt. 7 of the best sidekicks. And 5 years since her cancer diagnosis at Ohio Health.
Well, we head off to the 5th inning here at VA Memorial Stadium as Quinn Wells continues to deal for Lynchburg. After a rocky start there where they were able to have some nice damage control and allow just the 1 run, he's really went into cruise control. Striking out 3 to this point, has allowed the 7 hits. Now keep in mind, one of those was a bunt hit, another one was an infield hit. But then I think the key number, Carson, is the 0 walks. So to this point, we talked about not allowing the free passes to the speed of Portsmouth. And you can scatter, as they like to say, those 7 hits because he hasn't given the free base.
Yeah, and I think the biggest thing there is you see the 7 hits, but you see that Quinn Wells has made them earn all 7 of those hits, all 7 base runners.
It's going to be 8-9-1 here for Portsmouth as Owen Wells, first pitch swinging. That ball's going to stay in play. Baker's going to have a look at it over just shy of the fence, and 1 pitch, 1 out. So it goes down as the foul out to the first baseman, and that's going to bring Kane Boggs to the plate. He hit the fly ball out to center field back leading off the 3rd inning. He's 0 for 1.
Now batting for Portsmouth, number 16, Kane Boggs.
You got a little special PA announcement from our Derek Webb as John Bruce, who's usually our PA guy, had to go turn on the lights here with an overcast sky.
First pitch swinging again, ground ball to the backside there. Christian Beachy up to the challenge. He fires a strike across to Max Baker, and you talk about helping a pitch count. First couple batters, first pitch swinging and outs to show for it. And that'll go back to the top of the order with Jacob Roth. And with 2 outs, Carson, maybe a chance to split the top of the order here if you can get him out.
This could be a huge momentum inning for Lynchburg-Clay if they're able to get Portsmouth to sit down 1-2-3. But if you remember, a couple times this inning, Portsmouth has had the first 2 batters sit down only to get a base hit, and then sometimes 2 to follow with 2 outs. They've done a good job keeping innings alive at the plate.
There's a ground ball, backhand there by Slack. He steps and throws in the speed of Roth. I was going to be a bang-bang play, and he beats it out. I think it caught everybody off guard a little bit. Slack comes up throwing, and I think that Roth's ability to get down the line might even caught Baker off guard a little bit there at first in terms of his stretch.
Yeah, if there's anybody from Portsmouth that you can just tell right away wants to win this ball game, it's Jacob Roth. The way he's just gone up there, attacked at the plate, he's been patient, he's hustled when he makes contact with the ball, just outstanding effort all around. He's made some great plays in the infield. He's going to need some help from his teammates to tie this one up.
Carson, we mentioned he's just shy of 30 stolen bases on the year. Let's see if they decide. There he goes on the first pitch. Fouls. Good pitch to throw on. Nice pick out at second base. And he said they beat the tag. That was an outstanding glove play.
I believe Lewis dropped the ball when he was going to make the tag.
Oh, Eric Slack, I think, came in from second. Because I was going to say the ball had come in on the short hop, and originally, if he was able to put the tag down, I was going to say Slack made a great glove play. But I think you're right. Maybe the ball popped loose just a little bit.
It looked from here, I saw the ball right as he was going to make the tag. The ball did drop from his glove. A great throw, and would have been a great play to end the inning had Slack been able to hold on to the ball.
So just like that, the speed of Roth creates a 2-out rally, and London Malone, a base hit away from tying things up. There's a fly ball out to center field. Playing shallow was Niehaus. He comes in and takes control, and he'll make the catch to kill yet another rally. So Quinn Wells gets himself in a little bit of a pickle, but gets out of it with the fly ball to center, and Lynchburg stays in front 2-1 as we have played 4.5. You're watching high school tournament baseball here on SOSA, presented by Ohio Health.
Swinging a liner to left field. Pates will walk it off. That one base is loaded in 2. Pitch. It is low, and this one dripped the pitch. Skied into center field, hit pretty well. Major back to the track, to the wall. It is gone.
At Chillicothe Comfort Heating and Air, your comfort is our priority year-round.
Whether it's blazing hot or freezing cold, we've got your back with fast, reliable service you can trust.
Locally owned, honest, and done right the first time.
We have financing options available for every budget, as well as 60 months 0% interest.
Call us today and feel the difference that comfort makes.
We're off to the home half of the 5th inning, and it's so funny how the game of baseball works sometimes. You think of the first inning, both teams threaten to put up huge innings. Portsmouth comes away with 1 run. Lynchburg comes away with 2. Probably both teams feel like they could have had more, and you're sitting here thinking that one of those games opens up where it could be 8-7 or 9-8 type of game, and then both pitchers all of a sudden settle in. Quinn Wells on one side. Remember, Logan Atkins comes in with 3 batters into the game, inherits bases loaded, and he's been terrific since. Now it's going to be 2-3-4 here in the home half of the 5th for Lynchburg. Faust, Wells, and Niehaus. First pitch swinging, and you couldn't place it any better. The lefty going oppo, sneaks it right inside the bag. Playing him that way a little bit is going to limit him to just a single, but now second hit of the day for Elam Faust. He's 2 for 3. Most importantly, on base here to start the 5th inning for Lynchburg.
Yeah, first pitch, swinging C-ball, hit ball. Screamer down that third base line, and right away, Mustangs have a runner on for their best player.
33 stolen bases on the year. Got to believe he's going to be looking to run somewhere early in the count, even with Wells at the plate. First pitch not going, and there's a shot in the left field, a one-hop played by Kane Boggs, and that'll move Faust up 90 feet. Just like that, first and second, nobody out here to start the 5th inning as Trevor Niehaus will come to the box.
Center fielder number 21, Trevor Niehaus.
So back-to-back base hits. Trevor Niehaus comes in. He's 0 for 2. Did have the RBI on the ground out back in the first inning, and then it was a 3 unassisted. Ball hit pretty hard. Eli Roth made a nice play on over at first base. Ton of speed on base. Wells and Faust both over 30 stolen bases. There's a bunt. First base side. Coming over to cover is Malone. So that sacrifice will go 1-4. And that just shows you the versatility of the lineup when your four-hole can turn and handle the bat like that and put down a perfect bunt. Got 2 of your fastest kids now. Second, third, one out, and they'll pass the line to Christian Beachy to try to get the runs in. He's 1 for 2 on the day. Had an infield hit back in the third.
That's what we talk about, those productive outs, laying down that bunt, moving the runners up 90 feet. Chance for Beachy to drive in, too.
Infield in. First pitch just misses above the strike zone for ball 1. Keep in mind here, the speed of Faust is going to be a tag play at the plate. Most likely on a contact play now with 1 out, meaning that anything he sees off the bat on the ground, pretty much an automatic go, going to make him throw him out, especially with the speed of Wells behind him. Atkins working from the stretch certainly does help cut down that secondary lead a little bit. That ball gets away and going to get all the way to the backstop, so a big, big run comes home. Faust makes it 3-1, move Wells up to third. And now all of a sudden, a little contact situation could equal a fourth run. And the way Wells is throwing, boy, would that go a long way.
I believe that's going to be the first earned run tagged against Logan Adkins.
Yes. That ball catches the outside corner. Those first two runs would be charged to the starter, Leland Skurlock. So 3-1. There's a pitch. That's high. So Beachy walks. First and third. Now Tanner Roberts.
We're going to have a pinch runner come on for the Mustangs, it looks like.
I think that's Luke Davis.
It is Luke Davis.
So Luke Davis running for Christian Beachy. Remember, in high school baseball, if you're not familiar, Beachy being a starter would have the one-time re-entry rule. So Carson and I will look for that in the next half inning to make sure that Beachy comes back out at third there.
Give a quick update from OU. Again, the winner of this game awaits the winner of Valley and Northwest, who are playing down at Bob Wren Stadium. That game, a 4:30 first pitch on Thursday down in Athens Valley, ahead of Northwest, 6-0 through 5 innings. And Valley starting pitcher Gabe McNeil working on a no-hitter through 5 full innings.
Yeah, as we said earlier, obviously a very talented arm, and really the overall pitching staff for Valley has been their identity. And when they score early and often, man, they become tough to beat. So, yeah, look, Division 5, we talked about on SOSA Overtime. Division 5's got a lot of depth to it, and we've seen that in the early rounds as Valley and Memphis and some of these teams have really survived some scares. All right, we're back to action here. First and third, one out. Looks like they're going to let the base runner take the bag if he decides to go, and he will. So they'll take a pitch, let Davis move up to second. So now 1-0 on the batter, Tanner Roberts. Wells leads from third, and now Davis from second. Infield remains in. There's a swing and a foul back. Again, outstanding speed of Wells down there at third. Going to try to get as much as he can. And as I said earlier, I would imagine pretty much on the contact play, you'll probably see him break on just about any ground ball that's not right back to the pitcher. Nice job there from Trevin Brooks to drop and block on that ball that misses on the outer half. Huge spot here, Carson, the way Wells is throwing. 3-1, you feel like you're still right there. You allow a fourth or fifth run, and you really start to become up against it when you consider you only have 6 outs of offense to play with. There's a pitch. There's a foul off the first base side down by the playground area. Chillicothe Paints getting set to open things up this week.
Actually, opening day tonight, they're on the road in Johnstown.
Well, yeah, I forgot about the road game. You're right. I'm sorry. Yeah, I was thinking home here. Foul at the plate. Now, is the home date? I don't have that in front of me.
It's Thursday night.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. So I apologize. I forgot about the road game, yeah.
Thursday night, 7:05 first pitch. The Paints hosting the Kokomo Creek Chubs. I think they're a new team to the Prospect League this season.
2-2 pitch. Just missed. Obviously, much need of a strikeout here. Would love to get one. Good bat and Caden Boone on deck. So tough spot here for Atkins and his Portsmouth squad. Big lead out there for Davis at second with the infield in. And that's going to be ball 4. So back-to-back walks. On one hand, it does set up the force at the plate, but a good bat and left-handed hitting Caden Boone. He was hit in this similar spot back in the first inning. Got an RBI out of it. And then he singled to lead off the fourth inning. So he's 1 for 1. Been on base twice.
Looks like might be getting a pitching change for Coach Duncan.
We'll let all that take place, and we'll step aside here. You're watching Division 5 District Semifinal action here on SOSA, presented by Ohio Health.
For 175 years, the Glockner name has stood for trust. Today, that promise continues. Every time your family turns the key. Generations have trusted us for one reason. We never stopped caring. From preschool drop-offs to road trips, you leave our service center knowing your family is in the safest hands possible. 175 years of social proof that this isn't just service. It's a promise from our family to yours.
At North Fork Animal Clinic, we're more than your pet's health care. We're your neighbors. We combine top quality veterinary care with the availability you can count on, keeping tails wagging and pets thriving. And as proud supporters of youth sports in Southern Ohio, we're committed to helping our whole community grow strong. North Fork Animal Clinic, caring for pets, supporting our community.
Welcome back here. Got a pitching change in the home half of the fifth inning as Lynchburg threatening to break this open a little bit. They lead at 3-1, bases loaded, 1 out. And again, as we said earlier, a lot of pitching. With the pitching change, a lot of times you get a lot of defensive changes. And Carson, we think we have it sorted out there.
Yeah, it'll be Trevin Brooks, who was behind the plate coming in to pitch. Jacob Roth, the shortstop, will move behind the plate. Cameron Williams will move over from third to short, and Logan Atkins will go back to third base where he originally started. We're going to have a little bit of delay because you're subbing catchers now. You got to give Roth time to go change into some catcher's gear. Give Trevin Brooks some time to get that thrown off and get out to the mound, get some warm-up pitches in. A pretty unique situation, but again, we talk about the musical chairs you play in high school baseball, making these defensive substitutions. And I'll say this, great job by Logan Atkins coming in early. You know, I don't know if he was expecting to pitch today. I don't know if Coach Duncan was expecting to have to throw him on there so early, but did a great job coming out and battling. He is responsible for all 3 base runners, so let's see if Trevin Brooks can help him keep a rather cleaner slate. But great job by the senior coming in and battling in a situation where his team had their backs against the wall a little bit.
Yeah, no question about it. He had come in and got the ground out, the 1-run scored. It looked like they were going to get out of it at that point. Ended up getting the second run out of it, and then both pitchers really settled in through the middle innings. And now here you are in a situation, 1 run in, 3 guys still on, 1 out, and a lot of pressure on Roth as well. You come back on a day it's starting to get a little slick out there, and obviously can't afford to have one go to the screen. So Brooks will come in and desperate need of strikes, and I agree, tough spot. Caden Boone will be the 1-out batter with Max Baker on deck. So again, as I said before we went to break, Boone was hit by a pitch in this similar spot back in the first inning for an RBI. Has since singled on a ball well hit to right center field.
Trevin Brooks, the new pitcher for Portsmouth, was the starting pitcher in their win over Alexander. He went the distance throwing a 6-inning no-hitter, and he struck out 15 batters in a 10-0 win over the Spartans.
John and I talked about that on SOSA Overtime, presented by Perfection One this week. And obviously, you'd love to get a strikeout here, or a ground ball situation where maybe you could force a guy out at the plate. You just, this late in the game, you feel like you can't really give another one up. As I said, Portsmouth down to 6 outs of offense to play with, trying to keep this a 2-run game. If you're Caden Boone in the Mustangs, you're trying to break it open. Infield in, remember, force play at the plate if they're able to get a ground ball and cut down the speedy Wells. First pitch misses on the inner half. Again, nowhere to put him here. really, really tough spot for Brooks to enter the game. There's a swing and a miss. Sounded like from up here he got a little foul tip on it. Roth hanging on to it. Outfield, pretty medium depth. So fly ball with the speed of Wells probably equals a run. Now after the timeout, reset there. The corner's really starting to crash in. Long hold from Brooks. Now he's coming to the plate. A bunt squeezes on, and they pitch out, and they got Wells in a run down. Everybody fills in, and they make the throw and the catch. Outstanding job. They anticipate it, and they go with a little bit of I'd say an abbreviated pitch out where Roth comes out in the right-handed batter's box, and they had Wells coming halfway down the line, and the runner out there at second, which was Davis, he moves up. The trail runner stays put. So that's the second out. They said he offered at the pitch, so there's your second strike. Now you're a strike away from getting out of it. Defense will go back to pretty normal depth. I assume they'll let the base runner go here if he decides to steal the base. Now they'll step off. Still not out of it yet with the good bat of Boone here. You got to concentrate and make your pitch. That ball. Now, Carson, they changed the scoreboard. I thought they said he offered at it. They went back, so the count now 3-1. I guess they said on that 1-1 pitch he did not offer. I thought on the squeeze he threw the bat out there. Nonetheless, 3-1 now. There's a swing and a miss. So now 3-2. Defense back normal. Ross still even with the bagger at first in a two-out spot with Boone. Like to see him maybe back up a step or two. There's a swing and a high fly ball out at shortstop. Williams calls everybody off, and he looks it in, and a job well done by Trevin Brooks as he comes in and limits the damage and keeps his team in it. They trail 3-1, but they'll come to bat in the sixth, looking to get a couple to get even. You're watching an outstanding high school tournament baseball game here on SOSA, presented by Ohio Health.
Are you looking for the best deals on quality used trucks and cars?
Great news. Chillicothe Truck has what you're looking for.
Choose from a wide selection of makes and models. All vehicles undergo a detailed multi-point inspection and extensive reconditioning before hitting the lot. Our friendly team offers a no-pressure sales experience, ensuring you find the perfect vehicle to fit your needs. Plus, you can customize your ride with our extensive range of truck accessories, from bed covers to lift kits. Stop by 173 Rennick Avenue in Chillicothe or call us today at 740-773-8782 to get started right now.
Our employees certainly get the credit for that growth. The relationships that they build. People want to deal with people they can trust, they know, feel connected to. And I think that's where a community bank such as Kingston really shines. The color of money is the same no matter where you go, but I think the people behind it is what makes the difference. Having the empathy to understand what's going on in someone's business or personal lives and how you might be able to help it. I think our customers expect that, want that, and truthfully, they deserve that.
Starting to run out of outs if you're the Portsmouth Trojans, but you still trail only by 2 due to the outstanding job of Trevin Brooks going to the mound and pitching out of a bases-loaded jam with 1 out. Lynchburg kind of looked to go to a little squeeze action, and the moderate pitch out was able to get a run down and get the second out, and then they were able to get Boone to pop it up in the infield to Cameron Williams. Speaking of Cameron Williams, he will lead off the 6th inning. And he'll be first pitch swinging. Ground ball out there to Lewis. He sets his feet, throws across, and in time over to Max Baker for the first out of the inning.
The pitcher number 5,
So again, Quinn Wells really starting to settle into things here. He's been able to scatter those 8 hits out around the 5+ innings to this point. Now Trevin Brooks hit a ball really well, double down the left field line back in the first inning. Would be thrown out trying to go to third on a ball in the dirt. And then he had a ground ball to Beachy back in the fourth. So 1 for 2 on the afternoon is down to 5 outs. Brooks trying to jumpstart the offense here. Desperate need of base runners.
Kind of wonder if, with some light rainfall coming down, if the wet ball is going to be a factor on the mound.
Certainly would have to be, and again, that's why it's so important to try to keep the dry one in there. A lot of times, umpires at this level have some different things, but they'll allow kind of the defensive team to kind of keep it as dry as possible so that you're getting it into your pitcher. Here's a pitch. There's the off speed, and umpire stops him on his. He was 1 step toward first base on what he thought was ball 4. Umpire stopped him, said the off speed caught the top half of the inside corner. Now the 3-2 pitch. There's a swing and a fly ball out to center field. Niehaus drop steps, now has a beat on it. He'll look it in. So big out there where Portsmouth thought they had ball 4, did not, and then 1 pitch later, a fly out to center field equals the second out of the inning.
Yeah, it was a battle there from Quinn Wells in which he wins, and again, big shutdown inning on the line here with 2 outs. And for Lynchburg-Clay, you'd love to get a 1-2-3 inning, go get an insurance run in your half, and then go close it out in the 7th.
Eli Roth will be the 2-out batter. He's 1 for 2. Struck out back in the 2nd, singled in the 4th. So they got some dry baseballs in. Ended up throwing 1 back out that I don't think they think's usable. Now Wells will go back to work. First pitch strike, finds the outside corner. Again, Lynchburg got 2 in the first, 1 more in the 5th. Portsmouth scored its only run way back in the first inning. Leadoff batter Jacob Roth doubled and scored. That ball misses, down 2-1. Remember, that was the inning where Elam Fowles comes up with 2 big-time throws. Also looking another star in the 3rd inning, the double play ball. There's a ball pop up wide of third, just shy of the picnic area. Looks like they're going to have room, and Christian Beachy hangs in there and holds on to it as he falls to the ground for the 3rd out of the inning. Nice play there by Beachy. And now Portsmouth will be down to just 3 outs remaining of offense. But first, we'll go to the home half of the 6th, and Lynchburg will try to play a little add-on. You're watching high school tournament baseball on SOSA, presented by Ohio Health.
Mark. 6 months of training. 8 miles to go. A 3-way tie for almost last place.
Look good in these shorts, right?
And 3 years since he and his team at Ohio Health left cancer in the dust.
Welcome back here. Home half of the 6th inning. Lynchburg goes back to the bat rack. They're leading at 3-1. And they'll send Max Baker, Eric Slack, and Harley Lewis 8-9-1 to the plate. And boy, would they love to play a little add-on here and give their pitcher, Quinn Wells, a little bit more wiggle room. And Carson Wells, after a shaky first inning, boys, he settled in and been terrific the rest of the way out.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Portsmouth gave him something to, think about that first inning, getting a run across, and ever since then, Quinn Wells, I feel like, has just settled down. Even when Portsmouth gets runners on, he's done a great job working out of those jams, and he's just stayed composed, stayed collected out there, and he's done a great job. His team looking to give him maybe 1 or 2 more runs worth of support going into the 7th.
Max Baker had a ground out to third base in the first inning, and then it was the 1-3. That was a sacrifice back in the 4th inning. Now looking to be a lead man here for him in the 6th inning. Trevin Brooks, who had come on in relief last inning, will remain on the mound. There's a swing and a miss. Jacob Roth will continue behind the plate. Been impressed with the versatility of Cameron Williams. We watched him start in center, go to third, now playing short. So again, talks about that versatility that's required to get what is now 3 different Portsmouth pitchers to the mound today. Got in on the hands there. So now Brooks will try to take care of him himself as it's 1-2. Brooks, long look in there to Roth. Still looking, and Baker going to take time. Sometimes that's intentional. Sometimes the pitcher on the 2-strike time, you just look in there until the batter does that, and then you'll come back and try to break his timing a little bit. Here's the pitch. Thought about it on the outside. They're going to appeal down there to first, and notice how he didn't signal early. A lot of times they're taught not to go off the appeal of the catcher, only off of the umpire. So once the home plate umpire looked down there, he said no, he did not. So 2-2. The at-bat will continue. Still a good idea for the catcher to point just to see if the umpire will go with you. And there's a fastball on the outside corner at the knees for strike 3. So the backwards K. That's the first strikeout since coming on in relief for Trevin Brooks. And Eric Slack will be the batter. Really looking back through the day, Lynchburg's done a pretty good job of putting it in play. It's only their 3rd total offensive strikeout of the day. There's a ground ball, kind of a weird English toward Roth at first. He'll wave off Brooks, say he's got it himself, and he does. 1 pitch towards the 2nd out of the inning. 3 unassisted if you're scoring at home. And Harley Lewis will bat for the 4th time this afternoon as the leadoff man. He singled back in the bottom of the 1st. He scored. Hit into the 6-3 double play on the hit and run. He hit a hard ground ball right into it. First pitch, strike 1, and then he grounded out the 3rd in the 4th inning. So he's 1 for 3 with the run scored. Lewis played a good shortstop here today as he fouls one off down the right field line. He was involved in a double play of his own to end the 3rd inning. I thought that was a big, big play on the defensive side. It's a pitch. There's a swing and another foul. Southeastern waiting to take the dugout there. Need a heads up air. Don't need one of those injuries before
you even take the field.
Game. Yeah.
It's going to be a great game that look forward to watching. You and Dewey going to have the call on that one.
2-strike pitch just misses on the outside corner. Again, in these conditions, any conditions, but especially in these conditions, if Lewis is able to hit a ground ball out there, the way he gets down the line, it'd be a tough play. Brooks tries to go on the outer half again and misses. Lewis fights his way back into the count now, 2-2. Here's the pitch, and that ball right down the middle, and everybody knew it, and that's a backwards K, and that will end the inning. Last call for the Portsmouth offense is Lynchburg, 3 miles from the house as they lead it 3-1. We'll have the call for you here. Stay with us. You're watching high school tournament baseball on SOSA, presented by Ohio Health.
Since 1853, Tomlinson Insurance has been protecting families, farms, and businesses in our community. As an independent agency, we offer personalized coverage for your auto, home, farm, and business, plus health and life insurance too. And we proudly partner with Erie Insurance to give you peace of mind with reliable coverage at competitive rates. Tomlinson Insurance. Let our history be your future. Call us today at 740-773-4181 or visit us at tomlinsonins.com.
This broadcast is brought to you in part by Willie and Son Trucking. Willie and Son Trucking has been a proud supporter of local student athletes, coaches, and athletic programs throughout its history. Be sure to look out for the Shack Athlete of the Week presented by Willie and Son Trucking each week at SOSAOhio.com.
Last call for Portsmouth is they will ask 6, 7, 8 to spark a rally where they need at least 2 to keep playing. If you're Lynchburg, you're that one inning, these 3 outs away from meeting who will be Lucasville Valley now in Thursday's championship game at 4:30 down at OU. Carson telling me during the break, 6-1, is that the final you've given me there?
That is the final, and I was mentioning Valley pitcher Gabe McNeil was working on a no-hitter. He lost that no-hitter the first at-bat of the 6th inning, but he does finish the day giving up just 1 run on only 2 hits.
Outstanding there as you get good pitching, as you usually do at this round. You got a lot of top pitchers on the mound, and some of these teams even have a second and third arm, as we're seeing even from Portsmouth today. I think I've been impressed with all their pitching. First pitch swinging. Fly ball lifted out in the left field. Tanner Roberts has a beat on it for the first out of the inning. So Portsmouth down to their last 2 outs. How to bring Logan Atkins to the plate. He's 1 for 2 on the day. Quinn Wells been terrific, has allowed the 8 hits, but has not walked a batter, struck out 3. Still shy of 90 pitches on the day, so it shows you how efficient he's been since he had a lot of work to do back in the first inning. Quickly fills up the zone there. 2 straight outside corner pitches, way ahead now of Atkins. Goes to the curveball, swing and miss. Great job by Fouls. Drop and block. He'll complete the strikeout with the 2-3. And just like that, now down to their last out, it'll be Owen Wells stepping into the box. 4th strikeout of the day. Also had a couple key throws from Fouls back in the first inning. Lewis turned a key double play back in the third, but error-free baseball on both sides. Carson, it's been a well-played game.
Absolutely. Great defense on both sides. Some great pitching. Quinn Wells has the upper hand, looking to close it out here, send the Mustangs to the district final.
First pitch swinging, fouls it back over top first base dugout. So, as been the case all day long, Quinn Wells ahead in the count. The pitch, that one got away from him a little bit, asking for a new baseball. You could tell that release point on the off-speed pitch didn't feel right to him, as Huntington will scatter, ready to take over that third base dugout. As I said earlier, Southeastern over on the first base side, and there's a swing and a miss. So now down to their last strike as Lynchburg-Clay fans starting to feel it here a little bit. Wells ready to fire. There's the pitch, and Owen Wells gets a piece of that one. We'll live to see another pitch. If you're Portsmouth, still trying to compete down to the last out. Got some speed guys here in Wells and Boggs if they can find a way on back to the top of the order. There's another foul.
It's a good battle.
Carson and I have seen plenty of these 2-out rally situations. Quinn Wells trying to have none of it. Here's the pitch. Great job by Fouls working on the outer half. And Owen Wells struck out back in the 2nd. Fly ball to first in the 5th. Again, Quinn Wells just over 90 pitches here. Has really, really been efficient in attacking the zone. Has not walked a batter on the day. Again, you don't walk a batter and you play error-free baseball, and that's usually a recipe for success. Here's the pitch, and that ball catches the outside corner. And that'll go down as a backwards K, number 5 on the day for Quinn Wells. But more importantly, the final out of today's 3-1 victory over the Portsmouth Trojans, and the Lynchburg-Clay Mustangs will advance on to OU Thursday, where they will face Lucasville Valley. What an outstanding performance from the right-hander.
Yeah, great job settling in after that first inning. Just didn't really skip a beat after getting hit around a little bit. Did a great job fighting a really talented Portsmouth lineup, and he can rest well these next couple days knowing he left it all out there, sending his team to the district title game.
Yeah, no question about it. Quinn Wells improves to 8-0 as the winning pitcher. Complete game effort, 8 hits, 5 Ks, but again, the big star, the 0 walks. Outstanding. Stay with us. Carson and I will be back to tell you a little bit more about this one and set you up for what's still to come here today on SOSA. You're watching Division 5 district semifinal action here on SOSA, presented by Ohio Health.
SOSA's The Dugout is Chillicothe's premier indoor baseball and softball training facility designed to serve local baseball and softball players of all ages. The Dugout is equipped with our fully featured hit tracks, the next-gen data capture and simulation system providing athletes with real-time feedback with the capability of playing in any of the 30 Major League Baseball stadiums. The Dugout has a 70-foot by 12-foot batting and pitching cage, and every user has access to baseball and softball pitching machines, plyo wall and arm strength bands, pitching mounds and softball mats, multiple tees and hitting nets. Wall-to-wall AstroTurf, 285-inch TVs, and Bluetooth speakers make the Dugout the place to be for all of our area baseball and softball players, no matter the age. Train year-round, improve your performance, and further develop your skills in a fun and competitive environment at SOSA's The Dugout. Located in the heart of downtown Chillicothe at 185 East Main Street. Visit our website at sosadugout.com to reserve a time today.
Welcome back here at VA Memorial Stadium. The two teams come together in a prayer at the end. A cool sight there, and what a well-played game. As we said, error-free. It looked like in the first inning it was going to be a offensive slugfest, but once the pitching staff started to settle in, we got what we thought we would get, which is a low-scoring, hard-fought game, and Lynchburg-Clay ends up on the right side of a 3-1 final score. Looking at first for Portsmouth, they had 8 hits on the day. They just couldn't quite string them together enough to get more than the 1 run out of it. Jacob Roth ended the day with 3 hits. Had a hit for Landon Malone, a double for Trevin Brooks, and then a hit for Eli Roth, a hit for Braxton Carr, and a hit for Logan Atkins. But again, left a lot on base. I thought Elam Faust, two throwouts down there at third base in the first inning were huge, and I also starred the double play there to end the third inning when Harley Lewis made the nice play. But a lot of talent on the Portsmouth team. Say goodbye to some seniors there. Talk to us about Portsmouth, Carson.
Yeah, Portsmouth says goodbye to a really talented group of athletes in Jacob Roth, Landon Malone, Trevin Brooks, Leland Skurlock, Logan Adkins, Braxton Carr, and Angel Perla Rios. All great athletes that have contributed a lot to a very storied Portsmouth program, a lot of tradition, done a lot of winning over the years, so definitely a tough group to lose, but they've given a lot to Portsmouth, made a lot of deep tournament runs. Today they fell just short, but I thought, outside of a few miscues, it was a really well-fought ball game from the Trojans. Never saw any quit from them from first pitch to last out, so these seniors that step off the field for the final time in a Portsmouth uniform can hang their heads high. And if you're Coach Duncan, you've got to feel pretty solid about how this year went. Another great year. Just with the guys that you do return, it's how do you get them ready to get back here next year and take that next step as a program. But ultimately, even though they fell just short, Trojans can hold their heads high as they walk off the field today.
Well said. And then on the winning side of it, Lynchburg advancing on to Thursday, where they'll face a really talented Valley squad for a district championship down at OU. We highlighted before we went to that last break the outstanding effort of Quinn Wells on the mound. Let's talk offense here. Jump started by Harley Lewis, and Elam Faust was in the middle of a lot of different things today. I was just so impressed with up and down the lineup. Wells on base, Niehaus turning and dropping a sacrifice bunt down out of the cleanup spot. The middle order guys, Beachy, Roberts, Boone with some situational hitting. Slack down there in the 9-hole, what a weapon. Baker did a nice job defensively over first. All the way up and down, I felt like everybody contributed. What a great team win for Lynchburg today.
Yeah, great hitting, great base running, and again, the pitching of Quinn Wells was just lights out after that first inning. Put himself and put the rest of their hitters in position to go out there, make plays, give them a nice lead, and then in return, Quinn Wells just sat the Trojans down whenever his team needed him to. Be excited to see that matchup Thursday when they take on Valley, a rematch from last year in, I believe it was the Sweet 16 when Lynchburg-Clay knocked off Valley on their way to the Final Four.
Yeah, it should be a lot of fun, and throughout the whole Division 5, as John and I were talking on SOSA Overtime presented by Perfection One, show that you can see right here on the YouTube channel, Division 5 is completely loaded. So you're going to get some awesome matchups up and down the brackets, and that certainly will be one that everybody has their eye on. Speaking of having their eye on a great matchup, coming up next here on SOSA, an all SVC final. I know Dewey's going to move in. I'm going to move over and be with him. So, Carson, since you're going to take a one-game break, I'll give you this opportunity. Tell us what you're excited about in terms of Huntington Southeastern.
I'm really excited to see the pitching matchup that we're supposed to get. We saw Andrew Oyer pitch Saturday against Sims Valley. Didn't pitch enough to where he couldn't come out again today, so he's fresh. He's going to be rested up. He's going to be ready to come out and throw against a Southeastern team who brings out supposed to be Carson McWhorter, who we also saw Saturday night come out in relief. It's going to be a great pitching matchup. Some very talented athletes on either side. I look at guys like Frankie Hirsch and Troy McDonald for Huntington. Southeastern's got guys on the top of their lineup, the Gage Cheadles, the Braden Burns, a lot of really talented ball players that have been at this stage before. And if you remember, too, there's something to prove if you're Huntington coming in. You're the 1 seed in the district, but Southeastern got the better of you both times in the regular season. So Huntington looking for the third time to be the charm. Southeastern looking for their second straight district title. No better way to kick off our coverage of the district finals than with the matchup between the Huntsmen and the Panthers coming up at 4.
Well said. I can't wait to call that one with Dewey. And then Carson will be back with Kenneth Hay this evening for Logan Elm and Wheelersburg. So a great day of baseball. So make sure that you know that you have to come off of this link, go on to the new link to get that Huntington Southeastern game here momentarily, and we'll have that for you. So for now, we're going to step aside. Thank you so much to all of our SOSA team behind the scenes. For Carson Francis, I'm Shane Combs. Final score for the final time, Lynchburg beats Portsmouth 3-1 to advance to Thursday's district championship. So long, everyone.